friends, it's Bernadette. I am here with your Taurus tarot card reading for January 2021. Ho, 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 ho. Y'all, if you're a friend of a Taurus, if you are in a relationship with a Taurus, if you've got to work with a Taurus, just all I can tell you is don't get in their way. Don't do it. It will not go well for you. It may take a little while to get through you, but they're going to plow through you. And here's why. Because the tarot card, the tarot card for the already bull-headed bull is the Tyrannosaurus Rex. Now, in my deck, which is what I read from, which is the Arc Animal Tarot and Oracle deck, it is based on the Rider-Waite Tarot, and there is a full tarot deck in there, but there are also bonus cards that come along with the deck, and they're the Oracle card part, right? So for Taurus this month, January 2021, it just happens to be T-Rex. And so really, this could be like the shortest horoscope for Taurus in the whole world, because everything has aligned so much for this first month of the year. It's like I bow to you and I'm getting out of your way. Okay, so when we talk about the zodiac sign of Taurus, their motto is "I have," and you ain't lying, because whatever Taurus wants, and that's it. I mean, really, they're second only to Scorpio, whose motto is "I desire." And so, that said, they can be very much bull in a china shop, but Lord, does it take them forever to make a decision. However, a fiercer, a more brave protector of the ones like the home and hearth that they're committed to, or the loved ones that they're committed to, you never saw in their life. Like, it is a literally to the death kind of thing. And they really, Taurians just gift the world with this remarkable strength of will. Now, they usually have some pretty good physical strength also, but it's really in that mental capacity that they are just like, holy guacamole. Now, when you're like, okay, well, how the heck does Tyrannosaurus Rex fit into all of this? Well, because T-Rex is, one of the things that they show us about that strength of will and getting what they want. They were pack hunters, but when it came down to once the pack got the food, then we don't know that because we weren't there. We're piecing this together based on what we've been able to piece together, historically, what we think we know. I don't think they were too shy. The one that was the strongest, the alpha, the whatever, they were not too shy about moving the others out of the way to get what it was that they wanted, and then everyone else could have the rest. So that might seem pretty mercenary, but you can be self-serving without being selfish. And that is definitely a call for Taurus at this time. I know I'm stumbling, but I'm listening for the exact words to say. Yeah, working in a group is the best way to get the job done. But again, it's almost kind of like that scenario as if you're at a job and, God love you, there's a group project you're working on, and it's all been you and you and you, and some, little bippy steps up to the plate and takes the claim for it. You can't let that happen. And really, I think that's the word. Don't let anybody else claim. That's it. Don't let anybody else claim what's yours. Don't let anybody else claim what's yours. You've got to have the willpower, the mental strength, the courage to step up and say, I don't think so. That's mine. Get your hands off, right? You're going to draw back a nub. So that's what we say in the house. If you don't get your hands off, you're going to draw back a nub. Usually I say that to the people who are helping us out when we go to restaurants, because they always want to come get your plate when you've got like that one more bite that you've just been sitting there waiting and looking at it and oogling that and just building up to that time that you're going to take that very last bite of the most delicious macaroni and cheese you've ever had. Wham, they're going to draw back a nub, which I go through that whole thing when I'm like, oh, it's delicious and it's this and it's that. Because Taurus is all about the sensuality. How does it feel? How does it smell? I want to be surrounded by luscious, beautiful, good smelling, good tasting, good feeling things. T-Rex, it's kind of hard to think of them getting a petty manny, but I I would say that when you're dealing with lizard-esque energy, which of course, T-Rex is in its own way, you are dealing with an animal that has a lot of sensitivity, like super, super sensitivity, and is really, really good for divination. So honoring your own instincts and really making sure to remind yourself of your own power, especially because the Rex in Tyrannosaurus Rex, that name, it translates to king or royalty. So it translates to king or royalty. I don't know any other way to say it than, I hope you just can't wait to be king. Because if you'll allow it, this is such a great month for you to open up and work with power, but understand that power and control are not the same thing. Mars is going to enter your sign this month around the 5th, and that's going to come into conjunction with Uranus by the 17th. And that has been slowly making its way through your sign for a few years now. Uranus is the planet of unusual breakthroughs, windfalls, and revolutionary sweeping changes. Now, I know you Taurians just went, change, no! And now she's going to add the word revolutionary and sweeping? I'm out! I'm out! Get over it. Get over it. Revolutionary change, okay, even if it's just for this month, lean into it. Because you've got the support of T-Rex, you've got the support of, your animal allies, you've got the support of all the planetary influences. Making this particular change won't be the big, horrible, scary to-do that that you've come to think that any kind of change really is. Now, the conjunction between Mars and Uranus will come to a disruptive aspect with Saturn and the Sun in the early degrees of Aquarius, and there's just no way to know what's going to trigger that, right? This is the month, like last year, to expect the unexpected. And okay, that's not music to your ears. I totally, totally get that. But you crave security. I know that. You crave financial security, but it is subject to dramatic change. Now, let's talk about something here. Dramatic change doesn't have to be negative. It's like in the tarot. When you get to the Tower card and you get to the Death card, that's cataclysmic change. And it might be uncomfortable for a little bit, but on the other side of it, it's like some great miracle has happened. And you may want to rethink what you think is unalterable, unshakable, or a guarantee. As much as you love comfort and you love routine and you love nothing to change, I would encourage you to even welcome the change or call the change in, because it's coming. And again, if you'll lean into it, I just can't even, like, the sheer might that's behind all of that. I don't even know what's going to happen for you. All I can see are like all these gold coins dancing in my head. Now, I want to go back to power is not the same thing as control. Power is more often a thing within yourself. And even though, again, Taurians I can spot a Taurus a mile and a half away. If they're not that, they're a Saggy or a Cappy. They all have that same kind of solidness about them. There's just a thing about them, And so you can have great physical strength. You can have great emotional strength. You can have great mental acuity. You can have all of those things. But power, a true power of a king, is really a different kind of story. And even though a king has control over the king's subjects, the control, if he really wants to keep control, is to lord over them with taking the high road, meaning you don't rule by fear, not effectively. You don't rule by lies and manipulation, not effectively, and it all will come out eventually. So that whole sense of honor and duty-bound kind of thing that Taurians feel about protecting that they love and those that they love and they've made a commitment to, that's power. And you can't, let's say that you're going through a grocery store. If you're just joining me for the first time, get used to it. I love to tell stories about going to Publix, my local grocery store, because it's like a magical. Who needs to go to Disney World or Epcot or, any theme, any theme park? I just have to go 2 miles up the road to my local Publix, and something always happens, and it's crazy. But if I don't like what a cashier has said, or this has gone on, or the person standing next to me, or whatever, I could try to control that situation by controlling the communication. I could try to do that, but why would I? I would be better served. Everyone would be better served if I decided how to control that within myself. Why did it bother me? Why did it trigger me? Why do I feel compelled to say something? Why this? Why did it happen at this particular time? Why is it happening at all? Why, to go through these series of things where I identify in myself, what is taking power over me. Because when you allow outside triggers to trigger you, that means they have control over you. So conversely, while you don't want to try to control other people, the power is really found in not letting people control you. So, for your Taurus, for your tarot card reading for this January 2021. I know that was definitely not everything that you wanted to hear, but I really hope that you will sit with it for a bit, because you can't argue with the planets, you can't argue with the spirit totem and power animals, and it's what's going to happen despite you could start to hunker down and I'm not moving 1 inch. Okay, but I don't recommend it. So I hope that was helpful. I hope you pick up your copy of the Arc Animal Tarot and Oracle deck. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel. Ding, ding, ding. Hit that button. And every month, all month long, there are free tutorials. There are zodiac sign information, all kinds of symbolism and meanings information, and tarot. And we got it all. We're your metaphysical one-stop shop, y'all. So, all right, I'll see you again. What's the most important thing? To stay wild.